Hey guys, it's your girl J-Law on another episode of Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura. And we bring you the best of the best and everything in the latest technology space. Today, no different. I have a special guest, Dayana Contreras from Siembra. How are you?
Hi, Jada. I'm good, and you?
I'm super excited to have you on the show. I know we've been circling and talking behind the scenes. I already feel like you're my prima. So we're family here at this
We're
point.
cousins.
Yeah. We're primas, so that's just how it goes. But for everybody who doesn't know you or wants to get to know you, tell them a little bit about yourself, where Diana is from, her background, and to the point of starting Siembra.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited to be here. And yeah, a little bit about me. So, I was born in Bluefields, Nicaragua. I came to the USA when I was about 8 years old. As of now, I am a mom to my two handsome boys. A little bit more. So, I work as a behavior therapist and a life coach. And it really started as a part time over a decade ago. And slowly over time, it grew a passion in me of just wanting to help people, and over time that passion has only grown. Fast forward to today, I'm on a mission of building Siembra so I can continue to help people on a larger scale using the power of tech.
So tell us a little bit more about obviously Central American, so you have your Latina roots, and I'm sure that it's been an interesting journey uh, being a behavioral therapist, but also matching that with our culture. As a fellow Central American myself, I know that sometimes those things don't kind of go hand in hand.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's been a journey because it really started as a part time when I was fresh off of high school. I was
Wow.
barely 17, and at that time, there were less requirements, no board exams and stuff. So I was able to just easily get in, and really it started as a part time. But the more time I spent on it, and there's just a satisfaction of when you help someone and they're like, "Thank you so much," and they're so excited. Just that feeling kept growing, exciting me, and I was like, "Oh my god, like I could do this." And so it really started as that, but over time, the more you help people, the more you're also helping yourself. There was a lot of with our Hispanic culture, there's been a lot of things that I've had to like unlearn, like cultural expectation, bias, and things you like, that just kind of came with our culture in a sense. But yeah, the more I dove into it, the more it also started freeing me and helping myself. So little did I know that here I am helping people, but I've been helping myself along the way and just rewiring my own thoughts and my own way of being.
I love that. And there's so much to say with all of that because I'm sure that in your mind, especially growing up Central American, you kind of told where your career path is going, right? You kind of get to choose like three roads. You choose like teacher, lawyer, doctor. Like those are like goals, right? With with all of that and the crossroads and everything, you started like you said in a different place that you didn't think you were probably going to be in, I'm assuming, and that led you to now creating Siembra. Tell us a little bit about Siembra itself and what the mission is for Siembra.
Yeah, so well, picking back off of the behavior therapy and life coaching, because that's really where a lot of it came for me. As part of that, I what I do a lot is I take notes, I track the data and the progress of my clients. However, I always found myself taking it a step further. I was finding tools and resources that, based on their situation, would help them show up for themselves when I was not around. And oftentimes, I couldn't always be around due to their insurance, health policies, and just a lot of hoops they have to run around sometimes. And then when they did try to pay out of pocket, it added up and it was very costly. And I often saw so much potential and just little things they could do that would take them such a far, long way. And so a lot of those seeds for Siembra started planting there, and that desire of like, "Ah, I wish I had like this specific tool. I like just send it to you." But oftentimes I would also have to do my homework because I always get so like just caught up in my work because I love it. And so I would go home and I'm like, let me research what I can send her to to show her this. And so it started a lot there. But then on the personal side as well, that had a lot to do, and that just solidified my need to keep watering that seed. And that's
Yeah.
about 3 years ago, after I had my son, I encountered postpartum depression. And as I was in the midst of that, a lot of health issues and just life events that came its way, I found myself in a state where I was sort of letting go of myself there for a bit. And
Yeah.
after a minute, and it happens to all of us, it's really normal. And so for me, it was a matter of like, wait, Diana, hold on, like what can you do for you? And then it just clicked on me. I was like, you know what, let me apply to myself what I do with my clients, because sometimes it's easier for us to show up for others.
Yeah.
We don't show up the same way for ourselves.
Well, I think that's also comes from our culture. I think that as mothers, as women, as part of our culture, we tend to be caretakers. We take care of our aunts and uncles and family members and parents and kids. Your husbands, your brothers. We're natural born, I guess, like nurturers in that sense, but there's also the taboo on postpartum depression because we are told, you know, um, we're chingonas, we're strong, we can do anything, we can accomplish, and there's no room for weakness. You got to put on your big girl panties on and put on a brave face. And when you're going through postpartum depression and you're also kind of battling that inner, like, I got to prove to everybody I can do this, it's really hard. I mean, from my personal experience, because I went through it, and I don't think I realized I went through it till very late on. I think my daughter was a toddler by the time I was like, wow, this is what I've been experiencing. And when I grasped that concept, it was easier to take control of it.
Yeah. And sometimes we are so much on survival mode, and especially us,
Oh,
like as Latinas, we grow up with very demanding like roles, and so and expectations as well. So it's a matter of like, oh, like, well, I caught myself plenty of times saying, oh, don't be weak, you got this, like you can do so much more. And sometimes it's not even about that. It's like you said, it's about really taking a step there. And once you realize, wait, hold on, then you can navigate that easier. But when you're in the middle of it, it's really hard to see like how far deep you are into, well, in my case, my son was about 4 months old when I got to a point. I remember the bathroom mirror, I looked there and I was like, what's going on with you, Diana? And I just really felt it, and probably I looked crazy talking to myself, but I mean, we all do that.
I was gonna say, don't we all do that?
Yeah, so it's like,
It was normal.
yeah, so I really just sat there and I was like, come on. And it really started with sticky notes. So I was tracking myself with sticky notes. I'm like, do this, do that. Over time, I couldn't take the sticky notes with me all the time. So then I just began exploring, and I noticed that the more I tracked myself, my what am I doing for myself? Am I drinking water? Because sometimes as mother, it could have been 2 p.m. and I had forgot to feed myself. And it's not specifically the term motherhood, it's the fact that we get so caught up with my job, my career. I want to be a successful woman, but I also need to be nurturing to my kids and loving and present. And I also have a home, because us as Hispanics, I think we personalize a lot our home. It's a reflection of us. So I have to have my
Absolutely.
home together as well, so I can feel like I am a part of this family and I am, like, contributing what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to. And oftentimes that pressure comes from us too. Because my husband looked at me, he's like, you don't have to do none of this. I got it. No, no, I got it. I got it. And really, it came from that.
It's
We are.
I feel like it's like a guilt too. You feel that weird guilt, like, I'm the woman, I'm supposed to cook, or I'm supposed to take care of this and that and handle this, and it's hard to unlearn those things and also give yourself grace, because learning how to give yourself that grace and being like, you know what, my body is physically tired, and me being cranky and then that being into snapping at my kid or being upset or answering, incorrectly just because I'm irritated and tired, instead of just taking, saying like, I need 10 minutes to rest, like, I need to like put my heating pad on because my back is killing me. Yeah.
No, and that's true. And sometimes, it's the little things, like what you said, 10 minutes. 10 minutes could go such a long way if you actually take it. But if you're like, no, no, those 10 minutes I could use it for this, for that, then it's like it's kind of like now you're creating a lot of your anxiety as well.
Yeah, I see that a lot with our older generation, like my aunts and my mom. It's like sometimes I want to be like, "Mom, please stop. Like you're exhausting me from like cuz it's like from the minute they wake up to the minute they like put their head on the pillow, but they don't even like put their head on that pillow until like they extend their to-do list, I feel like, why are you cleaning the bathroom at 10 p.m.? I love you. Like, I understand you need a clean bathroom, but I think that could wait till tomorrow. You're exhausted. Go rest.
This is going to be there. Whatever is you need to do, it's going to be there. And
Yeah.
I see that a lot with older generations. So I started working with teens, and so like 16 to 22, and I still work a lot with teens, but I noticed too that I for me to help the clients that were the teens, I needed to help their parents first. And
Ooh,
that's where I saw the biggest impact for myself in terms of how I was showing up for my clients. I was like, if I can talk to your mom and I can get her to take a little break for herself, it would go such a long way for my client who
yeah,
was maybe a 17-year-old who was just trying to figure out, okay, what's next after high school.
yeah,
And sometimes our parents will put their own doubts, insecurities, or their own to-do list on us. And sometimes, well, most of the time it came to the matter of, okay, you know what? Would you mind stepping into your room for a few? Let me talk to your mom on the couch. And I would talk to the parents, and I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of scarcity. I see a lot of uncertainty. And so this often gets portrayed to our children. And so it was a lot of for me working with the mom, the older parents, because they use the I gotta keep going. I got it this to-do list
yeah.
to avoid what's really going on with them oftentimes. And I think that was a big key for me to get through to my clients was to talk to their parents as well.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, as a parent who actively is in therapy myself, my daughter has been in therapy for many years, and people, especially, I get questioned a lot, like, "Why do you have her on therapy? Is that even working?" And it's like, it's not that it works or it doesn't work. It's giving her the tools to be able to express herself and communicate more effectively, because I do see the communication issues that there is within the families, within you know the old ways of doing things, and how the kids are growing up nowadays, the level of knowledge they have, the level of access to knowledge that they have. Just as simple as Chat GPT is going to answer you English, Spanish, French. What language do you need it in?
Yep.
And these kids know this. They're not oblivious. It's not like us where we were like, oh, we just found a new website, so check this. Nowadays these kids are like, yeah, I already saw that on TikTok, or I saw the like,
Yeah.
I don't need to watch the show. I already know what happens through TikTok or through Instagram. And I'm just like, what is the point?
I know exactly what you mean. My 10-year-old, sometimes I'm like, oh, do you want to watch this meme with me? Oh, I already saw that, mom. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it's just that their mind, they or at least I'm from the 90s, so that's when around technology and it has come and it has evolved so much. But for them, they're already kind of born into already, so this
Mhm.
for them is normal. So their minds and just them in general, they catch on to things quick, and it really is useful, of course. But as always, we always got to take everything with a grain of salt, because what applies to one person may not always apply to you. But in the terms of therapy, I see therapy as something, not that this person you go in there and they're gonna heal you or they're making you
Oh
this,
no.
that, but oftentimes it has to start from you. And so what
Yes.
I like to think of it, it's one, this is a safe place. You can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Because one, you have that here, but second, now let's work on it. But let's work on it from your heart. What are you feeling? And that's more my approach that I do. I focus on them entirely. 9 out of 10 times we already know within ourselves, but we just need the help of someone that's
Yeah.
going to have the tools, resources, but most importantly, provide the safe space that we can let that out to then figure it out. And
How has Siembra, or how will Siembra in a, I guess, essence, facilitate more of, like, we've talked about the insurance issues, we've talked about cultural issues. Sometimes people don't want to maybe they're curious, but they don't want to face another human being, or you know what I mean, like actually sit in front of a therapist because they're not ready yet. And that has happened. I've heard that many times, especially coming unfortunately from male figures, you know, that they have a hard time saying, I don't need that. I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm not crazy. But then at the same time, they also have things they need to let out. They need to vent, but they don't want to look weak to the family. So it's facilitating. How does Siembra kind of put all of that together in one space?
Yeah, so Siembra, it has been a lot of like research and tools, and we've let out an MVP that we tested on case studies, and I would actually meet with them in person. I gather people from Miami, and I'm like, okay, what is it? I got to work with teachers in different professions just to have different ideas, and see how they could be helped. But ultimately, Siembra will be this mobile application that is going to be integrated with AI. So, a lot of people nowadays are using ChatGPT for everything. I even hear my clients, I'm like, what do you do when I'm not around? Oh, I ChatGPT everything. And it tells me what to do. And sometimes they show me and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it really is. I use it myself too for a lot. But then it becomes a question of, or even if you're venting to a friend, you could vent to someone that's wise and knows a lot. But oftentimes it comes from, okay, now let's apply it. Let's do the action part, right? So this is where Siembra is going to bridge a lot of the gap, which it's you're going to have the AI integrated and you have your accounts. And so over time, it becomes personalized just for you. Sort of like that best friend that knows you, that like, girl, I know you. You're not going to or this, right? But it's going to get to even know you as much as you want it to let you know. All privacy, of course. But besides that, it's also going to have all these tools that you need, all the tools that I recommend that I've used in myself, like tracking your own habits, your daily, how you're showing up for yourself, the mood journaling, your journaling in general as well. Over time, we will continue to release more tools that apply. And so the beauty of it is that what's going to work for one person won't work for the
Yeah.
other. But the AI part is going to figure out, okay, I see Jayla, I see you. Okay, so if I know that you're the person that, for example, likes to work things out this way by writing it down here, let me put you on to this journal within the app. Or if this doesn't work for you with the power of tech, I will find what it takes for you and we will figure out a way. So this is the way I'm seeing it, because to answer your question, a lot of people do have that trouble of getting there. And it's not just getting there and opening up to a person, but it's also what it takes to get there. Does your insurance cover it? And oftentimes they don't, because they don't
Hmm.
see mental health as an immediate thing needed. And I see this often with my clients. They can get approved for this amount of services, and literally by the next day, within less than 24 hours, they've gotten canceled because their insurance decided to revoke. But yeah, little do we, or the whole research shows us that mental health does affect our physical health. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely. I mean, stress is like what? The number one killer that causes brain, heart, and blood pressure. Like all of that
so
is,
much more. It's
yeah.
incredible how it can affect you and how it can also heal you if you focus on it too, because it really is a brain and body connection. And so that goes a long way. But yeah, so to answer your question, it's gonna a lot of tools and it's gonna adapt to you. So based on what you need, what it's working, as it learns you, let's say you're having right now, you're crashing out, this is going to be the tool that you pick up. Sometimes it's easier to call a friend and vent, but sometimes that doesn't do as well.
No.
Friends could have great intentions for us. By all means, they can love us so much, but oftentimes it comes to, well, what's their experience been like, and maybe what has applied to them won't apply to you. And they can have all the love in the world for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be helpful for you. So now having a tool that's going to be not biased and it's going to be
Oof.
driven and fact based, that's there solely to focus on you, it gives it this straight personalized effect. And so that to me goes a long way. And in general, as humans, I believe we just want to find either our person or something that we feel loved, we feel valued, and most importantly that we feel seen. Because once you're allowed to, you see yourself seen, and once you allow yourself to enter deeper parts of yourself, then you can begin that real work. At the end of the day, no one can force us. Even if you go to therapy, you can go to therapy every day, and it
Yep.
doesn't mean you're going to be healed. It's about what you choose to do about it. How are you going to show up? So that's really what I'm using tech for, to bridge that gap, that people can do it on their own, making it accessible, affordable.
That is, it's honestly, it's mind blowing because it is such a huge factor, especially nowadays in the world that we are currently living in. I think I've never heard more conversations being had over mental health than now. And it is so, so, so important because, like you said, it's not only mental health, but it causes so much physical damage as well that we need this. And it's so nice to see that tech is being used in this format where it facilitates helping in a bigger on a bigger board, because it is hard, as somebody who wants to always help, you want to help as many people as possible. And it's hard because you can't curate, you're only one person, right? You can't sit there and like one by one as much as you would want to. I it's obviously, like you said, you have to take care of yourself, you have family, everybody has a million other things going on. Where do you see Siembra within the rest of this year and then the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as of this year, because we tested the MVP and it proved right with the idea and the mission, so now we're on the path of building the app itself. So we are building the app, but on the side, it doesn't stop there. I am deepening my roots within community by combining, collaborating with other communities, because also the community that might work for me won't work for you. So we want to give access to people and expose them to different communities, whatever it is or that looks to them, depending on the phase or season they are in their life. So besides that, we're working on our newsletter. We're giving people tools, resources for them to feel heard, for them to know, hey, there is something here for you. Oftentimes I find it that the little things are can really turn into big things,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
sometimes one small little thing can make a huge difference in your day. And if it can make a huge difference on this day today for you, why not can it make a difference tomorrow? And as you continue that on every day, a week, a month, your years pass by, and it's really how you choose to show up every day that then influences how your next day could look like, and so on. So I do see Siembra in 5 years being this app on your phone, your go-to app. I mean, you know how we pick
Yes.
Instagram and doom scroll. I want people to pick up that app and don't just doom scroll, like show up for yourself. Okay, what can I do today for me? What can I do? What am I going to do? And how am I going to show up? And it's really creating that excitement of the same way we can show up for someone's either event, their birthday party, their this,
Oh,
waking up every day with that intention, like, oh, what am I going to do for myself today? And that app is going to be there. Siembra is going to be there to like, hey, look, here's what you can do today. And so that also comes with the growing as we gain more partners and as we continue to evolve. People will have so much more access to things that are specifically catered to them at the time that they feel they need it the most.
yeah, I'm excited to see everything that Siembra has going on because, there'd be nothing better than unfortunately, a lot of us have a bad habit of waking up and instead of just looking at the time on our phone, we start opening it and then we check messages and messages turn into checking emails and emails turn into and then there's your day, and
Yeah.
that's how it started. So to be able to maybe check the phone and the first thing I open is a app to check in with myself and has all in one place, I think would be such a beautiful thing instead of going to like seven different places trying to figure out, here's my to-do list on paper and it's also on my phone and here's my calendar and oh wait, I got to meditate, wait, I got to breathe, I forgot to breathe this morning.
Exactly what you mean. When I started my journey of like, I gotta track myself, I kid you not, I had about maybe I want to say 5, 6 apps. I'm like, okay, this one's to track my habits, this one's my mood, oh, this one's gonna, and I carried a notebook back in the day. Like,
I still carry a notebook. I have a spiral notebook with 5 subjects in it, and it has every piece of my life in it. And I still have it on my phone as backup.
oh
And I
no.
still like I try because for me it's like I have that like, and that's what I love about what you mentioned of Siembra, that it's going to be kind of like alter to who you are as a person, right? Because for me, if I don't physically write it down, it doesn't stay in my head
I don't know.
because you spend all day texting. So for me, texting is kind of passive. Like, you text, you email, you write captions, you go DMs, you do the, and it's kind of all the same motion. But when you're writing, it's like, okay, I have to write this down. So it like sticks in my head. So I know that for me, worksheets and printouts and things like that work a little bit better than, fully on app mode. But I like the dual of it. So it's like I like to do both.
No, I'm the same way. I have a cute little notebook, and in there I'm so cute with my stuff because it's my stuff. It's
Yep.
how I'm gonna motivate myself and how I'm planning to show up. And there is the motivation part, which plays a huge role. Like the more you motivate yourself, the more it does. But just knowing that you also have systems, whether it's, oh, maybe I forgot my notebook today. Oh, well, I still got it on my phone, or
Right.
whatever it may be. Well, today, you know what? I don't want to open my phone today. I want to switch to my notebook. And whatever the system looks like to you, as long as it's for you, it's going to take you farther than wherever you plan to do it, just keeping it in your head. And it really becomes a question of, I like to think of founders, especially in tech, that it is our job to take something that can be so complex and simplify it for our
Right.
users to genuinely be able to have more peace in their life. While to you and I, it may seem like, oh, we have our little systems, we do this, we on our phones, and we have our notebook. But really, not everyone has that for themselves,
Yeah.
or at least they haven't figured out what works for them. So we are here at Siembra. We're here to like show you, put you on, like, hey, look, it doesn't matter what you're doing here. This could work for you. And I think that has just it has grown in me, and it comes out so naturally because I have always been that person in everyone's life, aside from work with my friends. If they'll talk to me, they already know, okay, I'm going to listen to you. But after I'm done listening, I'm going to tell you what to do. So it's just kind of has always came natural to me, and it has been so helpful to me and other people. That's like their number one thing. They tell me, they're like, I like how you just told me what to do, and you help me create a system. I was like, oh, you're welcome. And so over time, it's like, wow, like it is a matter of structure. It is a matter, and not the
Yep.
most perfect structure, but at least how do I want to show up for myself? And I think that the way you show up for yourself just naturally will flourish and reflect in every other area of your
Absolutely.
life, as a founder, as a mom, as a in your relationships, in anything. It really just shows because you're going to show up more focused, more energized, more present in the moment, and that really goes a long way. It does.
Oh my God. I think we can literally keep going on for hours, but I know that you are very busy. How can somebody who wants to support, be a part of, has ideas, has money, any VCs or any, people interested, other organizations that are interested in having your platform or working with you to continue expanding your platform, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. And so, yes, one of the best ways to contact me, we have our Instagram. Our username is Siembra app. And then on our bio, you will see our website. And as well, you'll see me. You can find me on Instagram, Dayanaris. But besides that, we have my email, which is Dayana at Tu Siembra, and I can leave it on here for you as well. But besides that, I'm always open just to connecting. I would love to grow, but most importantly, I want to surround myself with people who genuinely want this for others as well. I've always had this feeling that, yeah, money is good, but not all money is good. I want
Absolutely.
people that just, whether it's investors, founders, just any friend as well, that just genuinely cares about it, because I think it's time that we start focusing in here too, and then it will go such a long way. And I think just I like to think of ourselves as the ancestors in the making. I saw that somewhere.
Absolute. That is beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's technically true, right? I mean,
We're gonna be somebody's ancestors.
yeah. No, I never thought about it. No pressure there. Never thought about it like that.
Yeah. So like for me, it's like, and I think about it too a lot because if once you're married and stuff, and you have this pillow talks, and you find yourself a lot talking about your childhood, like, oh, when I was a kid, this that sometimes. And it really dawned on me where I was like, oh, my kids are going to be talking about me one day. They're going to be telling their spouse, my mama was this, or my mama showed up and she gave me love. And so ever since I had that about 3 years ago, that thought, it just down on me so much heavier, with so much more responsibility, as in the way I show up for my son, I am going to shape his adulthood life. And so it really came down to, how do I talk to him, and how
Yeah.
do I show up for him every day. And so we have this little practice with our kids that every time when we drop them off at school, I'm always like, be yourself. You are a funny, smart, great guy. Be yourself. go get him. And then I'll see the smile on his face, even though he doesn't do it for me. He's like, walks out, and I'm like, yes, yes, he's going up there. And so that's a lot how I think about it, approaching it with just anyone I surround myself, friends, investors, other founders, like just I want to see how you show up and how much you care for others. And I think that's gonna allow others, if they do pour into me, they're gonna pour in with their heart and with the best intentions ever.
I love that. I love your energy, and I cannot wait to see everything that Siembra has coming, because I know that this is, it's not even the scratching the surface of the beginning of the amazing things that are to come for you guys. And I really can't wait to see that flourish and have you back on the show
I'll be
telling us launch dates and participation times and whatever is needed on our end. You know, you can always count on us here at Cafe Cultura, and thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so much, Jayla. I love connecting with you. I love chatting with you. We have so much in common. I mean, we're cousins now. So so
Don't
yeah.
worry, we're gonna go for some cafecito or something. I'm gonna see you in Miami. Ya voy para allá.
No, but thank you so much for having me on your show. I love your energy as well. I love the fact that you relate to everything we're saying, and it goes a long way towards letting people know that this is normal. And it doesn't mean that maybe you're having a bad day today. It doesn't mean you're having a bad life. It's
Yeah,
just today. Let's focus on what we can do. And so I love people like you that come with that genuine energy of just putting this information out there so more people can relate and see themselves in a way.
absolutely. Thank you so much for being on the show. And that was our episode of Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura. It's your girl Jayla. Until next time, I'm gonna go talk to her some more. That's my new prima. Bye.